What's up, guys? It's Sweet JP here, and today we're here with a tier list video. And I was actually kind of looking forward to making one myself, to be honest. Uh, I don't want to just be limited to forearms and all this. Like, I feel like this channel will be kind of, good for just aesthetic muscles and everything like that. And just what looks fucking cool, man. Because whatever's going on with bodybuilding and shit in this day and age, it looks, no offense, but looks fucking stupid. All offense. Um, so I got a tier list fucking thing here. All right. What we're gonna do here is it's gonna be mostly on just the aesthetic of the muscles, like mainly kind of in like clothing and everyday life. If you see some fucker walking down the street, and what's fucking cool, man, you know. Let me have a sip of my fine brew instant coffee. And a lot of you guys are going to disagree with me, and that's okay. That's whatever. But, you can try to dispute it in the comments with me. I'm not going to get too sciencey about this shit. It's just going to be more so my fucking opinion. And my opinion is fact. So, yeah, let's get into this. Rightio. So first, I reckon we're going to start off with the, let's give it a go here. Forearm extensors, alright? This is, what my first video was based on, fucking exercise for these. So you can do them. Check my other video for the exercises. It's basically the outer side of your muscle, it's tendons, whatever. If you see a dude like in a fucking t-shirt walking down with developed these, this is what's going to give that detail and all those kind of crevices and grooves in your forearms, and when you're lean enough, that's what you're going to see. Compared to the flexors, not so much. That's kind of just general bulk and shit. But this is kind of the detail, all the cool ass striations you get, So that's obviously, without a doubt, S tier, because you see it in t-shirts. All you have to do is roll up your bloody sleeves, It's right fucking there. Can't miss it. Right. Now let's have another go here. Alright, we're just gonna fucking wing it. Fuck it, lad. Right, so next we're gonna go on to, infamous legs, right? I'm gonna bunch them all together just for the sake of ease. You don't want shit legs, because then your whole physique's gonna be written off. Nobody's gonna take you seriously. And, legs are great for fucking functionality, so maybe don't miss that, They're kind of a pretty important. I'm more thinking you can build your hamstrings as much as you want, your glutes as much as you want. It's not really going to take away from your physique compared to overdeveloped quads. Like, I would just train quads for strength, and then hamstrings and glutes do whatever with. And then calves, just don't have small calves. So to be honest, I think they're majorly important. So they're going to go in A tier just because of the fact that if you have shit legs, your whole physique's kind of a rest in peace moment, Yeah, it's kind of chopped off, but eggs, close enough, lad, close enough. Right, so what we're going to go for next is we got a little Mikey here for neck, you're wearing a t-shirt most of the time, it's what everybody's going to see. It's fucking closest to your face. It's a no-brainer. Having a decent neck is good. I would say kind of like the widthness of your jaw, maybe a little bit wider, like a finger difference. Going too wide can be a little bit freaky and can kind of take away from that in a way. So it's either going to be in kind of B, A tier. I'd say it's kind of lower place, A tier, to be honest.
Yeah, so we're going to be looking at the brachioradialis. Radialis. So the way the fucking forearm bone, whatever, is split into two, the radia, so it's right there. You can fucking see it. I'm not a scientist. That's usually when it's in a reverse grip, fucking reverse fucking curls, reverse cable curls. You can look up the exercises yourself, I'll say one for probably each one. But you can research yourself. I'm not here to cover the fucking basics. We're here to have a dope aesthetic tier list, right? So, right, in this is kind of the brachialis is more kind of major in the forearms, but this will definitely play a point in your forearm aesthetics, kind of just filling out that space. because I see a lot of people that they have the forearms and biceps, but there's a lot of kind of spacing, especially if they have a short head bicep. It can make it look a bit trippy. So it's definitely like it wouldn't be the main thing I focus on, but it's definitely like fucking icing on the cake. Like it's definitely not gonna hurt you having a really developed brachioradialis. Like, so I would say it's definitely not on par with the neck, definitely not on par with the legs or anything. So I'm gonna have to put it into like a high B tier. Like it definitely rounds off your forearms. So it's a nice solid choice to train like, and you can rotate that with kind of like other exercises. Right. Anyway, so fucking brothers out there, lad, Jesus, can't focus that. Can't focus that. Right. Right. So we got the upper chest here, right? We split the chest into two sections. Kind of a middle and lower, and like upper chest, because middle chest doesn't exist, right? Or lower chest doesn't exist, whatever the fuck it is. But the middle and lower is hit with a similar exercise. And fucking, it's all the same thing. Like, so upper chest, bro. Upper chest, easily A tier, right? That gives you that kind of armor plate and aesthetic through the t-shirt and everything. Fucking makes you look like Chad energy, bro. Is it as good as legs and neck? Hmm. Yeah, I say it wouldn't be above neck because you can kind of compensate with wider shoulders and a big neck in the clothing. You just wear the right clothing, so it is kind of not as important as neck. Okay, so this one got completely fucked up in the stupid thingamabobber, where like the photo's fucked. But that's supposed to be deltoids, right? Literally a sign of any fucking strength, anything at all. That you've got some good genetics, you got good aesthetics, you're in shape, is deltoids. And now I'm bunching all the deltoids into one, right? Lateral, front, and rear. Just for fucking sake of it, like you can balance that out yourself. You know what good deltoids should be fucking looking like. That gives you that aesthetic, and no matter what you wear, bloody a leather jacket, a t-shirt, if you have big shoulders, people can fucking see it. Like you're looking like a champ, man. You are looking like a champ. Big broad shoulders is the sign of good genetics and fucking strength and health. And you just look well better in clothing, lad. I'm fucking out of them if you're fucking shirtless. I don't know if you're on a beach or something, but most of the time you're going to be in clothing, 99% of the time. You know? Unless you be, I sleep bollocks naked with it here. Um, so yeah, never shoulders and extensors. Oh, if you have that sick combo, bro, you're doing pretty well already. Me, you know what I mean? The neck is kind of the more fucking Hulk man, fucking masculine, intimidating. But if you're just looking for that fucking athletic aesthetic, extensors and shoulders, never hurts training them. Never. Alright, so we're gonna go with the flexors now. It's kind of in the similar realm of the brachioradialis. I would put it just above. For the second, it would look pretty weird if you had zero flexors and all extensors. So even just prioritizing them as kind of like a B tier level, you'll get away with. Most of them would be trained in like your gripping and your pull-ups, holding those pull-up positions. But, I'd throw a bit of curls in there every once in a while, or maybe just the light superset with the odd extensors. I really wouldn't worry too much about it. I would even arguably say it's nearly less than the brachioradialis. If you kind of train them in the same realm of volume, 2 sets a week of isolation, you know what I mean? Like, wouldn't really bother too much, bro, at all. Never, it doesn't really hurt to train them, but you kind of want to be focusing on more the A tier and S tier. Now, I'm probably going to move neck down to here. Just actually. Right, so here next, we're going to do some fucking middle and lower chest. This is not really essential, to be honest at all. It is like down here, bro. It is like D tier. Like, I would just personally forget about bench, forget about all of that stupid shit, because when you're like, look at this, it's fucking square, it's boxy, what the fuck, like? Or even the middle chest is quite developed here. You see how that just pops out too much. If that was a little bit flatter, I reckon that would look cooler if that middle chest came in a little bit more. So the only thing you gotta do for fucking middle chest is just do 3, 4 sets max of dips a week with moderate intensity and just tuck your knees in. Wouldn't even bother. Unless you do that some high rep push ups, for your fitness. But I would majorly just do incline and shoulders for your chest. Fuck that. It looks stupid, bro. It looks stupid. You look like a dumbass. Is that all he does is bench? Bench doesn't even mean anything these days, bro. Do some heavy hammer curls or something. I don't know. All right. So now next we got basically back width, lat width. As you can see from kind of the front, it kind of fills in that gap nicely there. Now imagine that with like no lats there. Looks pretty weird, right? That look pretty fucking weird. Yeah, it's not. You want lats. It fills in the spacing. So say when you've got the lats here, then you kind of have your serratus coming in right there, obliques, and your abdominals. It's supposed to all feed in like a V from the shoulders. And even let's say you had everything else, and it ruins your whole V physique because literally all it's doing is coming in like fucking this. Doesn't really make sense, does it? That it kind of complements. It feeds into your developed shoulders, then into if you have like good obliques and serratus if you're lean enough. And that's kind of those 6 fingers around there looks pretty cool to be honest. Like you see even here on this photo. See the way that all feeds in. It's supposed to feed in seamlessly. You don't have to worry about the midsection too much. It should kind of just feed into your lower abdominals very nicely. That's the same for an X taper, by the way, and V taper, whatever you're going for. So, I'd say it's above importance in here. I think it's high B tier, to be honest, because it's going to look off, bro, if you don't have that. You can even get away having an undeveloped brachialis flexors, but it looks weird, you know what I mean? Especially when you're like shirtless or something and you have no width to your back, from behind. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to do the serratus. Now this is quite complimentary. This isn't going to make or break your physique in a way, but it's supposed to go well with the obliques, like. And if you don't have anything developed, you're kind of just looking more average, to be honest. Like, I still think that's like B tier, kind of lower B tier. It's nice to have. Don't get me wrong, but I'd be a bit more worried if I didn't have my lat. You know what I mean? Like, obliques from an aesthetic point of view, I'd say it's actually quite high. I think it's nearly up here because you can get away with the meh forearms if you have really good extensors and biceps or whatever. But if you have like just abdominals, overdeveloped abdominals, zero serratus, zero obliques, you look like a fucking fridge. There's no details to you. I know there's less tissue there and all that, and you'd be like, do the compounds. But once I find a way to isolate them, obliques is my next fucking target, and serratus. These are all kind of more end game things, so I would kind of I'd personally focus on the lats and kind of forearms, chest, and back width, And then next we kind of have back thickness, You look kind of stupid without back thickness. You can kind of put it around, I don't know, like fucking... You get away with a lack of back thickness for sure. If you have the back width, you look aesthetic from the front. People might not fucking notice too much, Unless you're at the beach or something. I wouldn't worry about that. I just do the regular amount of rows and fucking pull-ups, a few sets per week, like, and then just go hard on them. Shouldn't have a problem, like, Next is traps, bro. Fucking traps. You don't really need traps. You can train them like once a week, whatever. They're kind of like, I'd say they're C tier, because after everything, it's like once you have the extensors, the good shoulders, the good neck. With minimal traps, you're fine. I only do maximum 2 sets per week, and mine blow up. They have just a huge amount of androgen receptors in them. You don't want them to dominate your shoulders at all. That's why, this should nearly reflect your fucking training volume, to be honest. So, It is pretty low, bro. Like, it's cool having big traps, but if you got big traps and lack of shoulders, you're gonna look stupid, man. So the neck kind of compensates for that, and you get the functionality with the neck of, it's a bit more injury prone. I would keep to lightweight. But yeah, you'd be pretty fucking well off, to be honest. All right. Next is the brachialis. This will kind of give you the thickness from the front of your arm from different angles, push out the bicep. Bro, that's like fucking. Even if you were to train your forearms and stuff, I'd say it's pretty fucking up there, man. Like, they're pretty stubborn to grow, but it's literally around this realm. Like, you can get away nearly without a chest, bro, if you have fucking good enough shoulders, forearms, bit of a neck, and your brachialis, you'd be fine. Legs is just the fucking staple. Just fucking do your once a week. Do whatever, bro. Just make sure they don't look small. Like, it doesn't mean it needs more volume like these other parts, but just make sure you don't look stupid. Right? But, the main focus is having as big as shoulders and fucking arms as possible. That's gonna be the main thing. And having a bit of back witness to you. So I nearly say the fucking that could be arguably higher, but I'm not too sure. You guys can fucking make your decision in the comments. Have a bit of a think. I'm sleep deprived right now. And now, the holy grail, biceps. You have to have biceps, bro. Curls for the girls, man. If you are not training biceps, or you don't have a decent sized ones already, what the fuck are you doing? Like, bro, everybody trains biceps. You're spastic if you don't train them. I'm grouping the outer and inner head together. You can just choose 2, 3 different exercises and hit them per week and hit them fucking hard. Progressive overload, do your volume as you needed. I think biceps and forearms are going to be the main driver force. It's going to be the main thing that carries your physique. Big arms, big shoulders, nice neck, you know what I mean? Like, imagine when you wear a t-shirt, everything that's visible. You kind of got the neck, then you got the mantelpiece, where, like, the traps, like, the collarbone goes across, and then, like, the shoulders and the arms. So if you only took that kind of attachment, and, if you fucking put that into Photoshop or something, that should be the main thing that's muscular, lad. That's what's going to make you look coolest in the t-shirts. Obviously, the chest is, upper chest is close behind. This is going to give you that kind of 3D pop out as well. But, like, if you only had neck, shoulders, and arms, like biceps and forearms, from the front you still look pretty good without the chest and the traps, Like, you can get away with it. To a degree. Not that I'm saying you should. You should be maintaining certain muscles and then increasing volume in others. Right, now we got the fucking the triceps, the three fucking musketeers here. All right. Now they're pretty juicy if you ask me. Well, they're not fucking D tier, but like you can put it into the head's lateral, fucking medial somewhere in there. Oh, where's the medial? I think that's the medial. I don't know. The long head, short head, whatever the fuck. But anyways, the medial head, that kind of like horseshoe, that's the main thing you're shooting for. I think that's the lateral head, the medial head. You get what I mean. You want the fucking horseshoe effect. That's what we're kind of aiming for, to be honest. So that's probably going to be more like rope pushdowns and shit. I wouldn't really focus on overhead extension stuff too much. You can do skull crushers for a while. That'll get you, your mass on your arm. But you don't want to develop the mass too much on the back, because then you're going to be kind of minimizing the deltoids there. So I would personally mainly focus on kind of getting all this area here developed. And, once you feel like you have enough mass, you can kind of, just do 1 or 2 sets a week overhead extension and just hit them hard. That's what genetically works for me. Because you want that nice shoulder kind of spacing. You don't want them fucking blobbing out like fucking all the way here, So just do your bit on those. You'll be grand. I'd say it's close behind fucking. I'd say it's nearly here, bro. Like if we were to put this up here, you'd still look pretty weird with our triceps. I actually think, you probably want more lats than upper chest, to be honest. Just when you're starting off, once you hit the minimum requirement, like, because like I was saying in the t-shirt, if you don't have the upper chest, you have the arms and shit. I still reckon you want the kind of back width to make you kind of look complete from like behind and everything, and when you're shirtless, because you could honestly get away with fuck all chest when you're shirtless, but no lats, you look a bit funny, bro. So I think the lats would nearly kind of go here, to be honest. You know, and then as usual, we kind of prioritize the arms up here and everything. So we got this fucking D tier, traps are C tier. Yeah, you can do without them, you know. There's a lot of B tier and A tier and S tier here, to be honest. Like, but yeah, this is the order it comes out in anyway. So this is kind of my decision. Let me know what you guys think. But yeah, I'd say I'm pretty fucking happy with that selection. Can't see anything wrong with that. You got the fucking six fingers of doom here. Fucking six fingers of doom. Imagine you had the serratus there. Whoa, that feeling perfectly, lad. But I would rank anything that you can see in a t-shirt higher than what's like underneath, to be honest. So you can really push all of the abdominal stuff kind of to the back, because the main thing is what you see in clothing in like a t-shirt or tank top. That's what we're kind of focusing on here. You know, there's no point in being fucking super duper diced the whole time, like when you can't even see through the clothing. So that doesn't mean get fat. Oh, it's okay to bulk, bro. Don't fucking do that. Don't be a loser, man. Don't be like, oh, I've got these big developed forearms, but now they just look like a chunk of mass with no detail because people say it's okay to be 16% body fat. No, it fucking isn't. You can maintain 12% with some fucking mineral balancing, lad, and you get in all your minerals. Have a smoke a few cigarettes or something. You know what I mean? You can still get stronger while staying relatively lean. You know? There's no point in developing all these fucking muscles. First of all, nobody's going to see them. And second of all, you're going to hide it with your fucking greasy cheese fat. Doesn't make sense to me, to be honest. Unless you're going for strength, do that, yeah, but whatever. So yeah, whatever's in clothing in a tank top and t-shirt, and if you're kind of on the smaller end in your dice, you're like, oh, well nobody's gonna be able to admire, bro, because I got no clothes that fit me. Oh, I wear hoodies. Oh, I wear t-shirts. Go get some tailored clothing. You can get you can buy a t-shirt and you can basically get it, you know, not too tight. It's not like skin tight, and then you proceed to get it tailored to be tight on your arms and shoulders, and actually even hug your lats, but be loose on your stomach, so you're not sucking in your stomach the whole time. So if you want me to talk about that more, yeah, do. I'm personally kind of, you know, miring over it, fucking buying clothing and getting it tailored. That's what I kind of want to do. Or if, you know, you're interested in like mineral balancing in the gym and still being able to smoke a few ciggies here and there, or just more like aesthetic shit or exercises in general, I don't mind. Whatever floats your boats. Like, that's kind of all my domain, to be honest. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and peace out.